Hello, everyone. I have an announcement. After 7 unforgettable years of wine and crime, it is time for me to move on to my next adventure. You all know my deep and abiding love of the Indian Ocean. And now my dream of waking up next to those beautiful waters every day is becoming a reality. Zach, Sonia, Josie, and I are moving to India. So excited. I just want to say that co-creating this podcast has been an absolute joyride, and I cannot thank the Wine Coven enough for making it all possible. It has been my profound honor and privilege to share these stories with you week after week. And I will always cherish the countless laughs and even the difficult conversations that we've had along the way together. So with immense gratitude, I'm signing off. Cheers and nice pap.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Ready?
Yep.
You are listening to Wine and Crime, the podcast where two friends chug wine, chat true crime, and unleash their worst Minnesotan accents.
Oh my God!
Yes! It is.
It's been a minute.
It's been so long.
I missed you.
I missed you too. I missed this. I
did.
Fully forgot how to record.
Yeah. We had to reteach ourselves some things, but our brains are plastic, as they say. They have plasticity.
Mm-hmm.
We can learn.
Having plasticity and being plastic are not the same thing.
Shut up. Okay.
This show is over.
No, it's not. Should we introduce ourselves?
Sure. I am Lucy.
And I'm Amanda. What are we talking about this week?
Well, this week we have a very, very special fan pick, and this is so delayed. So I have to apologize to 2 specific people.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is our very special fan picker, Shauna Kleitz.
Who I kept reading as Cities and then Clitties.
Clitties. Shauna
So I'm
Clitties.
going with Clitties. Show us your Clitties, Shauna Clitties.
Shauna, your very special fan pick is delayed by
a few months.
Too long that I don't even want to say it.
It's all right.
But Shauna wants to shout out their BFF Leah for Leah's 30th birthday, which was in October.
You know what? It's fine. Listen, Leah.
It was going to be late anyway.
She was moving anyway. I was moving anyway.
A birthday anyway.
You were having a birthday anyway. And, you know, I think it's, let's spin this. I think it's more special because it's like your birthday has now been extended.
It's your 31st birthday.
No, it's
Happy 31st birthday, Leah.
We didn't wait that long. Listen, you've been 30 for, 3 months now? I hope that you've learned something.
I hope you've learned that your 30s are so much better than your 20s.
Oh my God, they're so much better. But also, like, and we'll get to it, but if you don't have it already, heartburn is about to burst into your life like the fucking Kool-Aid Man. I swear to God, it happened like the night of my 30th birthday. I was like, oh, okay.
Happy birthday.
We're fucking here now?
Absolutely.
And you're never going away?
Yeah.
Oh, my digestive system is partially paralyzed? Oh, okay.
Oh. The chronic illness has just moved in.
Listen, speaking of chronic illness, congratulations on pushing yours out of your vagina.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you had a fucking baby.
I had a baby since the last time we recorded an actual episode.
Can you believe?
No.
The pause. That was the most pregnant pause I've ever heard in my life.
I will say I am so happy to not be pregnant anymore. I never want to be pregnant again. It wasn't even that like bad on paper for me. Like I had gestational diabetes, big whoop. But like I didn't have preeclampsia.
That's a pretty big deal.
Well,
Give yourself some grace.
I didn't have to treat it. I just had to monitor it. I didn't need like insulin. So like.
Right. You just couldn't have like the 10 Cokes a day that you usually like to appease your
prime
nausea.
Rib and 10 side lunch anymore.
Oh no. Yes, can I have the mashed potatoes and the baked potato? That would be great.
I'll mash it with my fork.
Also,
I just want the sour
sounds,
cream.
Sounds really good.
Yeah, so I had a baby. She's really fucking cute. And
we love her.
We're on to a new chapter of life.
Yep. I mean, I've also, I have a huge announcement. I got my nails done and they look really cute.
They do look really cute.
My little strawberries. I'm trying to like will spring to come. And yeah, I broke my foot. I broke my foot walking on a flat surface.
You were hiking.
I was. We put that in heavy quotes. It was
you
a
didn't see my
trail.
Wink.
Yeah, I didn't see your wink. Sorry. It was a trail. My foot found the only divot in the trail and exploded in it. And by the time this episode comes out, I will have just had surgery. So, like, 2024 is so busted.
Like, I'm not laughing at you.
Oh, I am.
I hope I'm laughing with you, but if you're not laughing, I'm still laughing. So.
Oh my god, it's fucking funny. Like,
up to you whether I'm laughing with you or not.
This shit's fucking funny. Who else but me?
We're also only a few days in. And speaking of the date today, and a good segue into the pairing, today is our dead friend Jessica's birthday.
God
Would have been her 37th birthday.
Our dead friend Jessica.
Look how fucking cute she is.
God, she's so fucking cute.
So this was her in life and this is her in death because I do have her ashes on my desk as well.
I have the last postcard she wrote me pinned up here and a picture of her and some of her ashes upstairs, but I'm not going to get up in my boot and try and find all those things. No. I'm a good friend.
Not in your boot.
It is so special that we're doing not only just a BFF dedicated episode today, because, we dedicate honestly so much of this show to our former, deceased BFF. She's still our BFF.
Our dearly departed.
She's not our corporeal BFF. She's
our DDBFF, our dearly departed former friend.
Our devastatingly dead best friend forever. Best former friend. But the pairing, the suggested pairing from our friend Shauna, I'm not sure what their pronouns are, so I shouldn't have assumed, but they recommended that we pair a whiskey drink for this episode. And we have this tradition with Jessica that every year on 2 dates, one on the date of her death and one on her birthday, we have this huge chat, this group chat that's like on Facebook Messenger that I forget about until this year, this day every year, that all of a sudden it's like, why do I have 75 missed messages? Where we do a thing called Shots Heard Around the World. And we go to a bar or to the kitchen or whatever, and you take a picture of yourself taking a shot of specifically Jameson, which was like Jessica's homeboy. And everybody does a shot. So I love that Shauna recommended a whiskey drink. And now in true Amanda fashion, ushering you into your 30s, I have already taken so much omeprazole and 2 dissolving nausea tablets today. So poor Jessica, honey. I love you, but no.
She would understand.
I'm not doing it, but Lucy, you held up the tradition for us today.
Yep, because I'm not pregnant anymore, and I'm also not breastfeeding.
But
which is this whole other fucking thing.
Yeah, no, you didn't want to take on another new task. You've taken on enough new tasks.
I had enough going on, and it's okay, and the people shouldn't judge.
I need you to tell us what you did, though.
What did I do?
For Jessica today.
What did I do?
What you literally told me right before we started recording about your little trip to the bar and what you requested when you got there.
Yeah. Okay. So part of the tradition, as Amanda said, we go to like a bar or whatever. And my tradition is to go to the only other place I go other than my home and the grocery store.
And Target. You've got 4 spots.
Target,
Yeah.
grocery store, and this bar
And
to
your
meet
house.
and my house to meet my friend Ben at the bar.
Mhm.
Met Ben at the bar, walk in with Jessica's framed photo and her tiny mini urn of ashes. And I walk in and I was like, can I have a candle and a match and a shot of Jameson? She's like,
Yes.
must be Jessica's birthday.
Yep. No follow-up questions needed.
No. She's like, sure, coming right up.
So Lucy is continuing the celebration of this amazing fan pick and of our dearly departed Jessica and sweet, sweet 30th birthday Leah.
Yes.
With what are you drinking? Jameson and Coke?
Jameson and
Yep.
Coke in my
And
McDonald's glass.
I
My
love
hamburger.
the
That's
Hamburglar.
That's Mayor McCheese.
Oh, that is Mayor McCheese. I have a Grimace one.
Yeah, I got the
Which, like,
set.
Grimace is a taste bud.
Grimace is disgusting.
I fucking love Grimace, and Grimace will bring the revolution. Like, fuck
The
McDonald's,
revolution
but
will
like
not be
Grimace,
televised. but
Grimace has like seen some shit and is fucking ready to tear it down.
That Macy's Day Parade.
There's footage.
Oh,
So while I'm not drinking Jameson, I wanted to share a couple of Jameson fun facts.
thank God.
Number 1 being that Jameson, as we know, is the #1 Irish whiskey in the world. And another fun fact that is not on this list that I found, but that I just know because I used to have sex with one of their managers. There's a bar.
That escalated so quickly.
There's a bar in Minneapolis.
Who's managers?
This bar called The Local. And it's downtown. I actually don't know if it exists anymore because once you've had
Not
sex with a bar
anymore.
manager and then you don't want to have sex with them anymore, you just kind of don't go back to that bar. So I don't know. But there was a time.
Oh, is that how it works?
That's, yeah. I mean, I'm dropping a lot of truths on you guys this week. There's a bar downtown called The Local, and I don't know if this is still the truth or even if it still exists, but there was a long period of time where this bar in downtown Minneapolis was the #1 seller of Jameson Irish whiskey in the entire world. They were selling more Jameson in that bar than they were in Ireland.
What? How?
Yeah, straight up. I don't fucking know. I mean, it's cold here. We gotta
Was he
get drunk.
just trying to get you in the sack, this manager?
No, because multiple people like confirmed this, including the owner.
Oh my, you slept with all of them?
No, I only slept with the one. Anyway, Jameson is the #1 Irish whiskey in the world. 2, Jameson's founder, not Irish. He was fucking Scottish, y'all. Shyamalan twist.
Oh, that
John-
seems like worse than if it were any other
I know.
background.
But I have to assume this pisses off a lot of Irish people.
Yeah.
John Jameson, the distillery's namesake, was actually a Scottish legal clerk. He was born in Alloa in 1740. But his wife, Margaret, whose brothers were in the Scottish whiskey business, had family by the name of the Steins, who owned the Bow Street Distillery in Dublin. So he married into an Irish whiskey established distillery empire, and then they, I think, together kind of launched this Irish whiskey. I know. So yeah, that leads to the in-laws that helped him found the distillery. That's how it ended up being Irish.
He just fucked the manager of some bar in Dublin.
Fucked the manager of some bar. He was a legendary fighter.
Okay.
Like, he threw fisticuffs.
Oh, I like that.
Yep, and was a little into MMA, I guess. For over a century of their making product, they didn't sell it by the bottle at all. It was just like in barrels, and then it went from like cask to fucking cup.
Oh.
Which seems really inefficient.
Farm
but they
to
weren't
table.
like, Yeah, cask to cup, farm to table. They were not bottling it for distribution.
Okay.
Which I think is cool. You would just like your pub would just get like a cask of Irish whiskey, and that's how you'd serve it. Which is kind of badass.
I know, I like it.
Mm-hmm. There's only one functioning Jameson distillery in the world. So basically, like every bit of Jameson that you are drinking, everywhere that you receive it in the world, is coming from that same spot.
Wow, that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They must produce. They must have a lot of employees.
It started in Dublin, but it got so big. I think after like 1975, they moved to Cork, Ireland, where they had more space to build a much bigger distillery. But all of it is made in that specific spot, which I think is pretty fucking cool.
They expanded in Cork.
Oh! Another hit to the Irish. Jameson, it was purchased by a French liquor company.
Ouch.
In 1988, it was purchased by a French liquor company, which I think is kind of funny.
Yeah.
And most of the rest of these are pretty boring, so I'm just gonna leave it there because it's mostly like this is the kind of oak that it's aged in, which like that is kind of cool. It's aged in American and Spanish oak barrels, which is kind of fun, but like whatever. Locally sourced ingredients. It's distilled 3 times and everybody fucking loves it, except for me, who breaks up and gets back together with Jameson all the time. And I almost got fired from a job for how drunk I got off of Jameson shots and picklebacks, and then stormed into the restaurant on my day off and started a fight with an ex-boyfriend who still worked there. Anyway, that's my wine segment.
And the car rolled 3 times and Top Gun had to fight the butler.
Yeah, I'm under a lot of stress. A lot of stress.
Speaking of reality crimes, did I even say what the topic was?
Oh my God, I don't know if you did.
I don't think I did.
I'm
new to this, everyone. Okay,
yeah,
Shauna.
We're figuring it out.
Shauna has chosen the topic of reality star crimes.
Woo!
And that was a great segue. Thank you, Erica Jane. Thank you, Amanda, for our wine crime pairing. Our
also, the way that Lucy and I very nearly just did our unhinged Vanderpump Rules fucking PowerPoint again just for this episode, but we decided to like branch out a little tiny bit.
Give you fresh content, I guess.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I don't branch out that far from Vanderpump Rules. Don't worry, you guys.
God.
Also, I taught myself how to crochet, so I'm going to work on this a little bit during your seg.
Well,
Lucy.
in the meantime, cheers, because I actually had the cocktail for the first time in years.
Yeah, I'm so happy for you. What is our background insight for reality star crimes?
Oh, God.
That sounded like it hurt.
I just need to mix it up a little bit.
The
ice melt a little bit.
There was nothing pleasant about that sip that you just took.
It
not
all just
jealous.
floated to the top. It was just like cold whiskey floater.
Fucking ish. I am not jealous of you at all right now.
I'm not either. Okay.
You made your choices.
Oh, there's no psych, and I have since moved my bones. So
great. Shake body.
Okay.
Shake your own bonies.
So I was watching Queer Eye as I wrote these notes.
Oh my God. Also, R.I.P. Bobby. This is his last season.
What?
Yeah, he's off the show.
Did he get fired?
Okay, no. Why are you not paying attention to any of the tea? So
I don't know.
There's rumor that Bobby and Tan do not get along.
Oh.
And there was a falling out, and they like stopped following each other on Instagram, and like they'll post things with the full group, but then like not tag each other. And then Tan got like this other show on, I think it's HGTV or maybe the Travel Channel, about like designing his dream home, but like didn't work with Bobby.
Oh.
There's a lot of speculation. None of it I can confirm. But long story short, Bobby, this season that's coming out now is Bobby's last season on Queer Eye, which makes me really sad because he's like my favorite. I fucking love him.
I really like Bobby, and also I do have a fun fact about Bobby.
Let's hear it.
His budget for the designing is about, guess how much his budget is per episode?
Like to redo their houses?
Yes. And he'll redo at minimum 2 or 3 rooms plus like an outdoor space.
It's got to be at least $100,000.
It's $20,000.
What?
And that's insane to me because they have to
He
turn
pulls
it around
off
in
so
like
much.
48 hours. Yeah.
20 grand?
Yeah. Maybe that's why he's
Bro.
leaving. 20 grand.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
I respect him even more now.
Yeah. And
Fuck.
I just think his spaces are very classy, very tasteful.
Yeah, I love his design taste.
So I also started my research by just Googling reality star, and I wanted to share what came up first
Okay.
in the Google search results. So it was reality star Teresa New York Times crossword.
It's got to be Judice.
I don't know what the I haven't done the. I mean, I only
There's
do the
literally
three, the
no
mini
other.
crossword.
It's either Judice or Caputo.
Teresa
there's
New
only
York Times
two-
crossword.
There's only 2 reality stars named Teresa.
Well, also this Teresa has an H in it, which makes me think it's Caputo.
Yeah, Long Island Medium.
Yep.
All right, we solved it.
Also, reality star Laura Bellizzi. And I had to Google Laura Bellizzi, and apparently she is like, she was on some random like Aspen reality show on VH1 that it didn't ring a bell. Anyway, these results are so weird. Then reality star Teresa without an H,
All right.
New Jersey.
Yep.
Reality star New York, Tiffany Pollard, American TV personality. And then reality star Death. So this is what you people are thinking about.
Your results, y'all.
Mm-hmm. And also I found a which reality show are you quiz on BuzzFeed. And I told Amanda not to tell me her results. Turns out we got the same results.
I misunderstood the assignment, y'all. I don't have great reading comprehension.
That's
in
okay.
texts. I get too excited. I'm sorry.
Well, we both
I was
took
not
the
happy with
quiz.
my results, though.
No, we both. Okay, as which reality TV show are you perfect for?
Mm-hmm.
And we both got The Circle,
Which
I've never
watched
seen it.
one season. It's boring. It's not interesting. It came out around the same time as Love is Blind, which I did love.
Oh, that's why I didn't see it.
I'm not into the reality game shows as much.
Yeah.
And it feels very game showy.
And I also didn't appreciate that apparently my results just pointed to me being really fucking lazy.
Oh my God. I answered lazy on one of the questions.
Same.
Ordering Postmates.
Yep.
I'm not here for it.
Yeah. So it's like, hey, you're lazy. You are this reality show that you've never seen.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Thanks.
Didn't love it.
Fuck you, BuzzFeed.
But if you do want to be on a reality show, I did find an article called Tips to Nail a Reality Show Audition.
Yes, we need this.
Guess where I found it?
Bravo.com.
LinkedIn.
Ew! What?
I know, I was really grossed out by that.
Ish.
So, here are some tips if you audition for a reality show.
LinkedIn.
Well, it's a job.
Yeah,
it's a job. We'll get to it.
I get it. All right.
So tip number 1, choose the right show. So pick one that has a format and a target audience that aligns with your skills and personality. So the same person who's applying or auditioning for, say, The Bachelor will not be the same person who applies or auditions for Bad Girls Club.
Bad Girls Club. I did send an email to a casting company that does Love is Blind because they are doing a season
You're
in
married.
Minneapolis. No, I know. Let me finish. They're doing a season in Minneapolis and they do weddings at the end. So I was like, hey, I'm a wedding officiant. If you need someone local to do any of the Love is Blind weddings, but I never heard back.
Oh.
Wah, wah.
Not yet.
You're right. Not yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think I'm.
Keep
I don't
your
think I'm gonna
chin
hear
up.
back. Okay.
Keep your chins up.
Chins up, girlfriend.
Number 2, perfect your talent. So elevate whatever your talent or skills are to a professional level. So if you're auditioning for The Challenge,
Okay.
you have to be a
where they do a
literal
physical
professional athlete.
Yeah, they do a lot of physical skills.
Yeah. Or like a chef show or like.
Or like American Idol. That's a reality show. The Voice.
Or like Restaurant Impossible. Like be the worst bartender you could possibly be.
I want to go on not Kitchen Nightmares. What's the one with John Taffer?
A Bar Rescue.
Bar Rescue. I want to get Lachelle's on that for no reason.
They're doing fine. They're also not a bar.
I know. That's why it would be for no reason.
Kitchen Nightmares. They'll come in and be like,
You're doing great, guys.
It's pretty small. There's not a lot to improve on.
Yeah.
Okay, number 3, develop a unique persona. It should be distinct, authentic, memorable, and genuine while also entertaining the audience. So don't be boring.
Yeah, don't be boring and like also don't be like a try-hard character because people are going to suss it out. If you're not coming in as like yourself, but maybe at least an exaggerated or flamboyant version of yourself, but don't try to like fake it because people are going to fucking know.
Yep.
And it won't be entertaining.
Also helps to build a compelling backstory. So personal stories go a long way on television, as we know. So like, oh, your mother died of brain cancer. Yeah. Broken foot.
Oh, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Broken foot, needing surgery.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple chronic illnesses.
Multiple mental illnesses.
Mental, just delusional.
Absolutely delulu.
Early onset something.
Oh, yeah. Onset from birth. I don't know what it is. I mean, I know some of what it is.
So share your journeys, struggles, and successes to connect emotionally with the viewers, because that's at the end of the day what we all want. Mm-hmm. Then you got to practice. Being well prepared boosts confidence and enhances performance during your auditions.
But like practice what? I mean, I know what to practice for like The Voice, but what are you practicing for like Vanderpump Rules?
I don't know, being a sketchy
being a
bitch.
Huge bitch. All right. I can
just like
that.
knowing your role, knowing your corner.
Sure.
And fucking sticking to it.
Okay.
Which brings us to confidence being the key. So you got to enter the audition room with self-assuredness and a winning attitude. Again, this is a LinkedIn article.
LinkedIn, written by Lisa Vanderpump, probably.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of honestly, a lot of these tips are just general job interview tips. So the next one is like dress for success, showcase your adaptability, stay calm under pressure, and send a thank you note afterwards.
Cute.
So, like I said before, being a reality star is in many ways just another job. You get paid for doing stuff that you might not necessarily want to be doing.
Always.
But there are other forms of payoff. So, like camera time, fame, endorsements, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of camera time, that is currency on reality shows. So,
sure is.
Reality stars want as much time on camera as they can get. And according to an Australian reality TV producer, the way to get more on-screen time is just to be nice to the producers and do what they tell you to do. Also be nice to what they call the chaperones. So like when you're off camera, there are people like getting you snacks and waters and blah, blah, blah. And it's usually like, junior staff. It's not your superiors or the producers or whoever, but if you're assholes to them, word gets back. So just
don't be a diva bitch.
Don't be a diva bitch just because you're on TV. That doesn't make you a celebrity.
Yeah.
So producers are the ones who find the stories and the angles. They assign the characters. So like who's the villain, who's the hero, who is the one who wins in the end, depending on what the show is.
Wait, so it's all curated?
Yes, it's all fake. So they have control over the storyline, and it is just best for you to play along if that's what you want. It's also a very small industry, so it's always good to get a good reputation and make people want to work with you again and again. Here's a fun fact from that Australian producer article that I read. Male contestants tend to get very competitive and toxic when they're on camera.
Oh,
so sometimes
Jax Taylor.
sometimes when they're like being cast and like in that pre-production period, they come off as the nice guy and they're written in as like the hero or whoever. But then when they're on camera, they can turn into a real dick.
There's a show that if you're not watching it right now, you should be, called The Traitors.
I love that. I haven't started season 2, but I
haven't either, but
Phaedra's in it.
Phaedra's in it. Fucking CT from like the original Road Rules.
Yes. We'll get to CT.
Yeah. But I loved season 1.
Yeah, season 1 was so
Brandy.
good.
It was so good. So I'm very excited to watch season 2. I'm glad you haven't started it either. Maybe we can watch it together.
Yes. We're also going to watch Crossroads with Ben later next week.
Yeah,
right?
he texted me yesterday about that.
Mm-hmm.
He's very excited.
Separate watch of Crossroads. And then I proposed watching Showgirls, but the version with the animated bras.
Yep, the animated bras. It's the best version.
Mm-hmm.
Did Ben tell you that I immediately spoiled like the big plot point in Crossroads for him? Yeah,
he did.
About that. I won't do it again live on air.
I tried to smooth it out.
I felt really bad.
I tried to smooth it out because I was like, oh, I think that happens in the beginning. Like, I don't think you're missing anything. And he's like, oh, thank God. I know.
I'm sorry, Ben. But like also kind of on you. Like what gay man in his late 30s hasn't seen Crossroads? You gotta know your own culture.
I rented Crossroads from Hollywood Video the first week it came out on VHS.
Correct. It's a formative film.
It was like Coyote Ugly level.
Yep. Core memories.
Okay, so if you want to be a reality star, here is another tip from said Australian producer. Quote, if you're smart, if you're genuinely smart, you're going to be terrible on reality TV. Because you're thinking when you're speaking. And so smart contestants self-censor and they freeze up on camera. They don't want to give too much away. They want to come off looking good and they end up just being boring.
Okay, I can see it.
So they're the people who don't get screen time. But if you're a little bit weird, you're going to get screen time. If you've got a weird laugh, you're going to get screen time.
This is looking good for me.
Yep. But if you're playing it cool and you're playing everything close to your chest, you've basically wasted your time coming on the show. Cool. I've had academics and doctors come on reality shows and they're great behind the scenes, but the moment they get on camera, they're thinking about everything they do and it's boring.
Yep. Yeah. All right. I can see that being a problem for sure.
Yeah. So before they get to actual production, like on camera stuff, if casting flags a contestant as potentially crazy,
love that.
They will do a psychological evaluation on them, for them, but they don't do it for everyone. And this is just to determine whether they're fit to like be on the show.
Be on camera. Yeah.
Be on camera.
Ooh, uh-oh.
But they do
that
background
seems like
checks.
It could be predatory.
But they do background checks on everyone to make sure that they're not like
a violent criminal. Yeah. All right.
And
keep people safe.
Again, there are so many different like genres of reality TV. Not to say that rapists fit into one of them, but like different if there's people like staying in a house together.
That's
like
what I was
co-ed.
just gonna say. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You put a bunch of people in a room together that they can't leave. I mean, I think of like Love is Blind. You don't want to put people that are like basically staying together on a reality show and then like sending them on vacation with a stranger, on like a honeymoon with a stranger.
Yep.
And it turns out that they have all these like violent, like a violent criminal history. Like that just would not be safe at all.
Exactly. So that's a little behind the scenes look. I also have a list. These are the top 20 reality TV shows of all time. And
all time?
This is ranked by Variety. And I chose this particular list not because I necessarily agree with it, but because I thought Variety was like
gonna have a decent, it's like
more
a decent
legitimate
publication. Yeah.
Yeah. And they also review
Survivor
like
is
entertainment.
number one, I'm gonna be so mad.
What?
If Survivor is number one, I'm gonna be so mad.
Oh. Okay.
Because it is. It fucking is, isn't it? God damn it. It's only because it's fucking been on forever. It won't die.
Well, it won't die, but also you have to remember when Survivor first came out.
Girl, I know. My aunt and I were obsessed with it. I would spend summers at her house, and me and my auntie Dawn would go get like Reese's peanut butter sundaes at fucking Friendly's for takeout, and then come home and watch Survivor like every Wednesday.
Yeah, babe, it was formative. You can't argue. You just proved the point.
I'm sick of it.
Well, no one's watching it anymore, even though it's still on.
Why is it still on? Anyway, continue.
Okay, so number 20, we're starting from the other end. If number 1 is Survivor, I'm going to be so mad.
I just fucking spoiled Crossroads for myself with that one.
Yeah, you did.
Fucking great.
Okay, number 20 is America's Next Top Model because yes.
How is that all the way down to number 20. That was iconic.
You're gonna be
unhinged.
You're gonna be pissed about a lot of these.
I'm gonna fucking hate this list. I'm already so pissed.
Number 19 was a show called Bands on the Run, which I very vaguely remember.
Is Next on this list?
No, but I wish Next.
I loved
Next. What was the one where they take the black light into the bedroom? Room Raiders.
Room Raiders.
Next was so awful.
Next. Y'all, anyone who was born after 1990 truly has no idea like how unhinged VH1 and MTV reality TV was.
It was
so unhinged.
Throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what stuck.
It was I feel like the only television station, like network, that has maybe gone more unhinged than MTV in terms of their reality shows is TLC. TLC had a span of time where like they didn't give a fuck about anyone or any ethics. And they were just like, we're showing it all, bitch.
TLC is the least ethical.
No, it's wild.
And it's the Learning Channel.
I don't know where they get off. I did not know where they fucking get off.
I don't either.
Anyway, next.
Okay, do you remember this? Number 18 was Legally Blonde, the musical, The Search for Elle Woods. Which they bring up a good point.
Is Making the Band on there at least?
No, Making the Band is not on here.
How did fucking Legally Blonde, The Search for Elle Woods make? I'm so mad. I'm going to walk off set.
Because it was musical people. It was not only theater people, it was musical theater people.
So it
was
like
very dramatic.
Hype.
It was just it was a show with a bunch of lunatics.
Fine.
Number 17 was Big Brother.
Okay,
that was a global sensation.
It was. This makes sense.
Number 16 also makes sense. The Challenge.
Okay.
Number 15 was So You Think You Can Dance.
Okay.
I'll allow it. Number 14, I will super allow because this is my hotel watch for the rest of time. Shark Tank.
Oh, I love Shark Tank.
Mm-hmm.
Bill and I go on like in waves, LOL, pun intended, with Shark Tank. Where we'll go a stretch where it's like, that's all we want to watch. It's just old episodes of Shark Tank. And we'll watch it for like days on end. And then we like can't touch it for 2 years. And then we just come back hot. Come back hot on Shark Tank. Craven Shark Tank.
Oh, yeah.
The reality show we're binging right now is Love on the Spectrum. And I sob every episode.
I haven't started it because I know I'm going to cry.
It's so good. It is so fucking beautiful. I'm obsessed with it. That show.
I gotta start it. All I watch is reality TV, which was the answer to one of those BuzzFeed questions.
Yeah, we still got the fucking circle.
Pissed. I'm gonna finish this list before we start talking about our shows.
Fine.
Because the next two really irritate me. Okay. Number 13 is Project Greenlight.
I don't even know what that is.
They like greenlight movie ideas.
That's boring. Nobody cares about behind the scenes of the movie industry.
Yeah. And number 12 is called The Chair, which is the same thing, apparently.
Boring. Boo.
But number 11, I don't know if you remember this, it's called The Paper, about the high school newspaper. Like hierarchy within the high school newspaper.
That I would watch the shit out of that.
Mm-hmm.
What was that on? Do we know? Does it
MTV.
say? That was on MTV?
I think so, yeah.
Ooh, okay. I'm going to look and see if I can find those streaming.
Mm-hmm. Tell me if you do, because I will
The
definitely
paper.
watch that. Number 10,
Right.
Taxi Cab Confessions.
Love
Taxi
Cab Confessions.
It was
Great
it got
show.
real raunchy.
It really did. That was nuts. Great show.
That was some late night.
That was unhinged content.
Don't tell your parents that you're watching this.
No.
Mm.
No.
Number 9, I don't know why it's not further down the list. The Real Housewives as a franchise as a whole.
That's number 9?
Yeah.
I'm like mad enough I can't even like scream. That's so stupid.
I know. Number 8, Elizabeth's favorite, The Amazing Race.
Why does she love that show so much?
She used to.
She wanted us to audition for it.
Yeah.
And we were like, no.
She would come home and like boot us out of the room so she could watch The Amazing Race at 7 p.m. on Tuesdays.
Which I respect,
Yeah.
but
It's her house. Boot us. But also The Amazing Race.
yeah, come on. Get out of here.
Number 7, Project Runway.
Yes, that's a great, I think that's the perfect spot for
That is
Project
a
Runway.
good spot for Project Runway.
This is the only one I've been pleased with so far.
Well, you're not going to be pleased with number 6, which was The Mole.
What?
The Mole. Do you remember The Mole?
No.
It's kind of like Traitors.
Yeah, but it sounds awful.
It does.
Traitors
it's
is good.
A terrible name, Mole.
The Mole. Have
number
it removed.
number 5, American Idol.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not happy with that, but that makes sense. That show has been a sensation forever. That's another one that needs to be done.
Yep. Number 4, Top Chef.
Okay. I like that.
Number 3, RuPaul's Drag Race.
Okay. All right.
I like that.
I definitely like that. Although, as everyone knows, I am a Dragula gal. I am not a Drag Race gal.
I haven't watched Dragula.
It's so fucking good. You'd love it.
I didn't start watching Drag Race until like maybe in the past year or so.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize how much of an impact it has made on pop culture.
Yeah, it's wild.
It is really wild. It's also
It's a sensation.
such a good it's so entertaining.
It is. It's very entertaining. But it's like Dragula has like all of the best elements of Drag Race with, I think, even more like queer inclusivity, because like trans folks can be on that show. Like queer folks who are women who are drag kings can be on that show, which is like, you know, kind of, I wouldn't say, what's the word? Not problematic. Controversial.
Mm.
But some of the best fucking drag performances I have seen on that show have come from a couple of the drag kings that have been on there. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's a wide scope.
I gotta check it out.
It's really cool.
So we already know what number 1 is.
Boo.
Do you want to take a guess at what number 2 is?
I would guess The Real World, because if I heard that The Challenge or whatever was on there, but The Real World wasn't on there, and that was like, The Real World changed television.
Yeah. Well, it is The Real World.
Okay. Because I was like, I haven't heard that on the list yet, and if we don't get it toward the top, I was going to be fucking mad.
I personally would have swapped Survivor and The Real World. I would have put Real World at number 1.
I would too. It's like the most iconic reality show that has like I said, shaped reality TV. Like Survivor, okay.
I feel like we should distinguish between like contest reality and just
Correct.
like real world style reality.
Yeah, there's stuff on this list that I wouldn't put in the same category.
Mm-hmm. Shark
I
Tank.
I wouldn't put Shark Tank and Real Housewives in the same fucking list.
Mm-hmm. But it is
They're
all
completely
reality.
different genres of television within the reality, like subgenres within the reality umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever, fine. Okay, Variety, go fuck yourself.
Okay.
We have spoken. The gals have spoken.
The tribe has spoken.
Which, like, Survivor is so problematic. How are we still doing this?
I don't know.
The fucking tribe has spoken. Said by that white guy that's been hosting it for way too long, who like isn't Bear Grylls, but is like a tiny pocket-sized Bear Grylls.
Mark something.
Get out. I can't.
My family used to watch Survivor every single Sunday night.
Yeah, you
on
guys
the
had
tiny
a
little
Survivor-themed
TV.
Christmas card.
We did, yes.
I remember it. It was on our fridge for like 5 years.
My cousin Emily had a Survivor head wrap, like a do-rag, and my aunts made the...
No.
She said, your do-rag is a don't rag at the dinner table.
Oh my God.
Made her take it off.
Okay.
Okay, so to finish this out, I have some fun reality TV facts.
Okay.
And again, we're back to Survivor immediately. Here we go.
Ugh.
Every season, Survivor assembles a group of 16 to 20 people, 20-somethings, known as the Dream Team. And their job is to test all of the challenges before the contestants do. So it's like a dress rehearsal for the show.
But it's a dress rehearsal with people who are not the contestants, like the tier 2.
Yeah.
Who don't make it onto the show.
Well, I mean, think about like all their challenges. They have to make sure that they're like doable. And they do the same thing for the challenge. I saw some like challenge after show. There's like a whole team that designs
they're like stunt
those
people almost.
But they're not technically stunt people because they have to make sure
They're
that
just
like,
testing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway.
they have to make sure that like an average-ish or slightly above average person could pull it off.
Exactly.
Okay. That makes sense.
So to touch on my fucking favorite reality show at the moment, Below Deck, which didn't make the list. Pathetic.
That's sad. I'm sorry for you.
So here's a fact. It was difficult for the producers of Below Deck to find willing participants for its first season since it was a, quote, unknown entity that potential castmates worried could, quote, jeopardize their future employment potential.
Okay.
So they were nervous that there were going to be cameras to be like, oh, well, it could be bad that they know how much shit we talk about the guests and all this stuff.
Yeah, that's true. So a thought that never crossed a single Vanderpumper's mind. Their fucking life. Yeah, I'll say it all. Let's go.
But now the most common reason that yachties sign on is so they can show their friends and family at home what their jobs are like. So that's their most like stated reason why they like the show.
That's cute.
What
I
they
like
wanna be in
that.
it. Yep.
That's cute.
The Love Island villas are outfitted with about 80 cameras, including one in the bathroom, although
Hate that
footage isn't monitored. So I don't know why they have one in the bathroom.
Maybe in case there's an incident that they can then refer to that footage if necessary.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of coke, a lot of hooking up, a lot of magic can happen in the bathroom.
True.
But like mostly diarrhea.
Yep.
Let's go to the diarrhea cam.
We know that well.
Yeah.
There's a camera in the toilet. Ew.
Probably.
There are also no clocks in the house, and the house is supplied with over 200 condoms, which are replenished as needed.
I'm gonna barf.
I've never watched Love Island.
I was never a Love Island person really either. My friends Dave and Anna were super into it. They liked Love Island UK though.
Well, we know Ariana from another reality show loves Love Island. Contestants on the show Chopped are warned by producers about host Ted Allen, the guy with the glasses.
Yeah.
Because he will attempt to get inside their heads while he interviews them about what they're preparing.
He's trying to fuck with you?
Yeah, they're also told that if he is bothering them while they're cooking, it's okay to tell him to go away.
That's amazing. It's okay. You can just tell him to fuck off. He's super annoying.
Tell him to get the fuck out of there. As of 2018, only 15 out of the 77 restaurants featured on Kitchen Nightmares were still open, meaning that the show
they close all the time.
They had a success rate of less than 20%.
I think it's a similar thing with Bar Rescue. Like a lot of these places, they come in, they like shake it up or do a remodel or whatever, and then
But it's a cheap ass remodel.
It's really cheap, and then they usually shut down or sell. And then
the
they don't even own it anymore.
The issues have to be like foundational. Like it's
correct.
They're not going to fix it in 4 days of filming
and with
yelling
like, nice
at them.
Chairs.
Yeah.
You need a whole new staff.
Mm-hmm. New owners.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so before a new season of the Great British Baking Show begins, they test all their ovens in the tent, and they test them with they test them with a dozen Victorian sponge mixes, like cakes.
Fucking yum.
And they use runners to make sure they all go in at the exact same time. And if the ovens are in good working order and all consistent, 12 perfect and identical cakes will emerge. So that's how they test their ovens.
I volunteer as tribute.
A dozen Victorian sponge mixes. That was my British accent.
That was really good.
Here's my last one. According to a 2010 Entertainment Weekly interview, when the top chef judges find themselves undecided, they turn to an unofficial fifth judge, who is a camera operator known as T-Bone.
No.
T-Bone shoots the contestants' dishes and then eats them afterwards, so he's in a position to act as the tiebreaker.
No, I am not here for T-Bone.
I love T-Bone. I want them to have T-Bone on camera.
I know. It's shady to me. Reveal T-Bone. Fucking show us T-Bone.
Instead of the masked singer, he's the masked judge.
T-Bone. I don't trust it.
Speaking of the masked singer, one of the other facts that I read was like, so the people behind the scenes of the masked singer obviously they have to sign an NDA and they aren't allowed to use their phones.
Mm-hmm.
But if they do use their phones, they're not like fired, but they have to wear a special like sash of shame. It's just the like higher ups way of being like, don't trust this person.
Put on the phone, dunce cap. You fucked up, Ted.
Yeah.
T-Bone.
T-Bone. So anyway, that's my background for reality star crimes.
I love that.
Thanks. I hope I've encouraged you to apply to more reality shows.
I have never applied. Well, okay, I lied because I talked about reaching out to Love is Blind, but I've never like applied to a single reality show, and I'm not compelled to do it after hearing all of this.
No, I don't think
I
it
would do the
worth
Traitors though. I would do a game like that.
You're not famous enough for Traitors
Yet.
The mind games one. That's the one I'd be the worst at.
We'd both be so bad at it. We're so transparent. Like,
I'd be bad at the Traitors. I'd be bad at the Bad Girls Club.
Dude, I can't.
And I keep bringing that up because my Facebook keeps like suggesting like clips of it, and I'm such a sucker.
Bad Girls Club when that was on.
Loved Bad Girls Club.
You did. You were a fan.
Love Below Deck. That's my number one. All the Real Housewives. Vanderpump Rules, which comes out next week as we record this.
I can't wait. I can't wait. Like literally the day after my surgery, I get
the day
a new episode.
Tuesday.
No, surgery. Oh, I thought that VPR was on Wednesdays.
It's Tuesday this season. Comes out on the
it?
30th.
Well, then I will watch it on Wednesday because I got rid of YouTube TV because it was too expensive.
I'll give you Ben's
So now I have
login.
to watch it. I have to watch it the next day like a fuck. Well, I'm going to be like too out of it probably on Tuesday to watch it anyway. So I'll just watch it from bed on Wednesday.
Yeah, you'll watch it twice.
You're right. I will. Who am I fucking kidding?
All right. I have a little case for us today. If you're not sick of hearing my voice.
I will never tire of hearing your voice. Have June do it.
She's sleeping or shitting, one or the other.
Just puppeteer her.
Someday she'll be on the show.
Oh my God, yes.
Okay, so we're going to start with a little school called Provo Canyon School.
Mm-hmm. And if you've watched Paris in Love, then you've probably heard of it.
Yep, this is about Paris Hilton.
Mm-hmm.
So Provo Canyon School was founded in 1971 as a Universal Health Services behavior modification program.
Yikes.
The founders, Robert Christ and Jack Williams, initially opened it in Provo, Utah as an all-boys facility, and it later expanded, adding 2 girls programs. Let's get as many minors as possible.
Right?
Provo Canyon had been marketed as a residential treatment center for teenagers aged 11 to 17, but they have admitted children as young as 8 years old.
I hate that.
That's too young for...
Yeah.
That's too young.
Yeah.
They have enrolled teenagers with a history of various issues, including substance abuse behavior, ADHD, anxiety and trauma disorders, social developmental disorders, conduct and impulsive behavior, and mood disorders such as bipolar and depression and oppositional defiant disorder. It is just plain unsafe to have
any kind of mental health issue.
Well, all of these different disorders and behavior patterns put into one clump.
Mm-hmm.
So the school claims to offer year-round school to students and is a psychiatric youth involuntary residential treatment center. Involuntary.
Mm-hmm.
Students who go here reportedly receive a wide range of interventions, including psychotropic drug therapy, use of physical restraints, humiliation, starvation, and solitary confinement.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Have you seen, there's a new Netflix show, it's called something like Hell Camp or something like that.
Oh, no, I don't think I have seen that.
It's about
like a behavioral camp?
Yeah, but again, it's the involuntary. Basically, parents have to sign over their parental rights to the people who run the camp.
Yeah, and don't these kids, like, not in every case, but some of them get, like, kidnapped in the night from their homes and have no idea where they're going, and then they're taken into the middle of the woods with no contact with anybody.
Yep.
Fuck that.
That's, like, part of the psychological
breakdown
fuckedness of this whole thing.
Oh, I hate it.
And then the kids in the Netflix show have to walk like a 300-mile loop, like through the Utah desert.
No, I'd just lay down and die and they'd be like, you deal with me.
You deal with my corpse.
Yup, you fuckers.
But like some kids did die.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah.
That's horrifying.
It's survivalist shit against their will to quote unquote correct their behavior. It's really so fucked up. There's also sexual assault. Anyway, we'll get to it, but there's that show on Netflix. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this Provo school has a long history of lawsuits and trouble with the courts and the government. So in their first years, 2 teens escaped the school and ran away. They then filed a lawsuit against Williams and Christ, and the lawsuit challenged the school's treatment and educational policies. So eventually this court ruled in favor of the school, but at the same time, the judge issued a permanent ban from the school to use, like they banned them from using polygraph tests, opening and moving.
They were polygraph, like lie detector testing their students?
Yes.
The fuck?
They were also opening and moving the kids' mail, so I'm assuming that means like...
That's a federal offense!
Hiding the mail.
Oh, come on.
Also using isolation as punishment and using physical abuse.
Oh my God.
Another student who attended in 1989 and stayed for 2 hellish years said that at first he went willingly, as it was sold as something like a boarding school where he could have gone swimming and skiing.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, he was stripped and searched and watched other students being held down and like injected with sedatives.
Oh, that's sick.
Mm-hmm. So he was like moving up quickly through this program, but he was like knocked down when he tried to run away while visiting his family in New York. And his punishment was standing up against a wall for hours. And this lasted for several weeks.
Oh my God.
So this is just
physical
a little
punishment. That's abuse.
Yeah. Little backstory about Provo Canyon School.
Specifically, yeah.
And then Enter Paris Hilton,
Oh, God.
the eldest child of socialite Kathy Hilton and wealthy businessman Richard Hilton. So Richard's grandfather was Conrad Hilton Jr. of the Hilton Hotels and the terrible first husband of Elizabeth Taylor.
I always forget about that.
All those rich diamond people are intertwined, I feel.
Yep, it's true.
When the Hilton family relocated from LA to New York after more than a decade, Paris began to exhibit very problematic behavior. So she was like skipping school, missing classes, sneaking out of the house to attend parties. During this time, Paris was adjusting to being the new girl in her high school and claimed to be dealing with bullying. I'm not saying she wasn't. She probably was.
Right. Yeah. Kids are cruel.
Yeah. She said that her parents pushed her into etiquette classes and imposed like really strict rules, like not allowing her to go out or wear makeup. You know, she just, and going from like the kids sneaking out to go to parties to her parents being like, no, you can't wear this or wear any makeup. It's like,
Right.
you're going to lash out.
Of course you're going to rebel.
Yeah.
You're a teenage girl.
Yeah. So these restrictions led her to some big rebellious behaviors. In her later teenage years, Paris started staying out late at nightclubs where she started to feel like herself. She had found her people. She also got into modeling, which her mom did not approve of.
That kind of surprises me that Kathy wasn't into that.
I mean, Kathy seems a lot more modest.
Yeah, I guess.
I
mean, Kathy's a fucking lunatic, so God only
true.
knows.
Well, she didn't approve
God
of it.
only knows. Yeah.
So Kathy Hilton expressed her deep concerns for Paris, stating, quote, "Let's put it this way. It got very out of control, and I was scared for her, and my husband was scared for her." She admitted that she was so worried about Paris's safety, fearing she might be harmed or kidnapped, that she resorted to locking her inside the house.
I don't like that. I understand that you are afraid, but there are other ways with all of the bottomless money and resources that you have access to ensure the protection of your child than locking her in a tower like fucking Rapunzel.
I mean,
Because that's going to be more traumatic
yeah.
and not super helpful.
No.
And make her want to fucking bust out. Like, how many times when I was grounded did I sneak out? I snuck out the most when I was grounded. I would go downstairs during the day and pretend I was letting the dog out because we had a security system. And when you opened the sliding door in the basement, a thing would beep upstairs. But if I did that earlier in the day and then I just never closed the sliding door, then it was really easy for me to use the sliding door later to sneak out of my house.
Why do I remember that tactic so clearly?
Because I was grounded a lot.
You were grounded a lot.
A lot. I was grounded so much I kept like snack reserves in my closet. And a little tiny like black and white TV with an antenna.
I remember.
And let me be clear, I deserved it. I was fucking around and I was finding out. But like, I just know from experience, whether you deserve it or not, you're gonna be like more rebellious in instances like that.
I distinctly remember like picking you up
down the
but
street,
like around the corner with
correct
Jessica.
Yep. Correct, because I was sneaking out. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't drive past my parents' cul-de-sac because
I'll meet you at the fork in the road.
Yep.
Near the trail to the high school.
I'll meet you by Bliss Blanderson's house.
Correct. Fucking Bliss.
So, in an effort to address Paris's behavior, the Hiltons sent her to various boarding schools, including wilderness camps and emotional growth schools.
Yep. Gross.
Nothing wants me to grow
less.
Yeah. Nothing inspires me to grow less than an emotional
growth school. No thanks.
Paris recalled running away or escaping from multiple schools during this tumultuous period. And one of the institutions that Paris was sent to was Provo Canyon School in Provo, Utah. She arrived there at the age of 17, which apparently was the upper end of their students, probably because anything older than that is an adult. But
yeah.
During her time in other wilderness schools, she heard warnings from fellow students, with one bunkmate cautioning her, quote, "Trust me, you do not want to get sent to Provo. Bad things happen there."
Oh, God. And then she did.
And then she was sent to Provo.
Oh, that's scary. I don't like that.
So trauma starts for students at Provo even before they're at the school, before their bunkmates warn them.
Yeah.
Many students remember the terrifying transport to Provo.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Paris said in her podcast, quote, "The beginning of every survivor's journey is the transport. Survivors describe being kidnapped in the middle of the night and the tumultuous and traumatic trip to Provo Canyon School."
I forgot that they used that tactic on her and other students.
It's just to like shock them into obedience, probably.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's hard to fight back when you're so confused. You're woken from a dead sleep.
Yeah.
That's horrifying.
And as a child, you think that that's supposed to be happening and your parents aren't doing anything.
They're watching sometimes as you like scream for help.
Yep.
I would never trust my parent again.
I mean, here we go. This is what's next. A woman named Natalie said that when her brother Michael was taken to PCS, Provo Canyon School, her parents were told to wait in the car outside with their dog. Two men came into Michael's room when he was sleeping and took him out of the house in the middle of the night. Michael was put on a plane in handcuffs and had no idea where he was going until he arrived in Utah.
Oh, my God.
Paris Hilton continues to struggle with sleep due to her lingering feud. Why can't I talk? Sorry.
All right, you had a baby. They ruin your brain.
I seriously do. Paris continues to struggle with sleep due to her lingering fear of being forcibly taken from her bed by strangers.
And I mean, even if she didn't have this background of trauma, that's already when you live in the public eye and like, you know, I'm not saying that I feel like, oh my God, I'm so sorry about Paris Hilton, whatever.
I feel bad for her trauma.
I feel bad for her trauma. And like when your life is so public, regardless of how privileged and how much money you have, like you are already a target. And then she's already had this experience of being plucked from the safety of her own home and harmed in this way.
Yeah.
Like, I would never fucking sleep again either. Are you kidding?
I mean, and also, like, if you've watched the Kim Kardashian jewel thief Paris shit, it's hard not to feel bad for her also, because... Like,
fuck Kim Kardashian, but I wouldn't wish those experiences, you know, fuck Dorit Hemsley or whatever on fucking Beverly Hills, but it's sad that people broke into her house and could have harmed her and her children.
Yeah.
Like,
no one deserves to feel unsafe in their own home.
Yeah.
Like, as a traumatic response.
Correct.
In perpetuity. Yeah.
No, you don't have to like love and be a simp for Paris Hilton to recognize that she experienced something horrific that nobody deserves to experience.
So Paris vividly recollects a night when her parents sought assistance from individuals associated with Provo Canyon School. During this terrifying episode, she felt as if she were being abducted and began urgently calling out for her mother and father, but received no response.
Oh my God, that makes me want to fucking cry.
Even with her pleading her parents for help, they stayed by their bedroom door, tearful and unresponsive.
Oh my God.
Paris did...
Having your parents in full view of you. I mean, this reminds me of just like the studies you read about like people not coming to their babies when they're crying. Like you just
the silent babies.
Yes, it's just like your parents are standing there watching this happen to you.
Yep.
And not doing that makes me feel physically sick.
Yep. Paris didn't understand why they weren't coming to her aid, which was a feeling that many other students shared retrospectively.
And without them really understanding that not only are they not coming to their aid, these are people that your parents called to come and fucking deal with you.
Signed away their parental rights. I mean, I don't know about I would have to assume.
In some cases,
Legally,
or at least
it
sign
would have to be-
serious waivers.
Yeah.
Allowing them to do this.
Yeah, the equivalent
that makes me
of signing
sick.
away their parental rights, at least.
Ugh.
So the next morning, Paris's sister Nikki joined her parents for breakfast, and to her surprise, her parents greeted her with smiles and casually informed her that Paris had gone to boarding school.
Wow.
So in her documentary, This is Paris, Paris meets with other survivors from Provo, and they talk about still having nightmares about the school and talk about all the ways that the staff tried to break the students there. Because that is the end goal.
Yeah.
They're trying to break them.
Break you down psychologically and build you back the way your parents want you, basically.
So, trigger warning for all of the rest of this.
Oh, great. I wasn't triggered enough.
Yeah. So, here are some examples of the way of the breakage.
No.
Very late at night, like 3 a.m, staff members would bring girls into a room to perform medical exams.
No.
But not with doctors, just with staff members.
Oh, God.
They would put their fingers inside of the girls for quote unquote pelvic exams, but gave no reason as to why they were doing this. And looking back
my
as
God.
an adult, Paris acknowledges that this was sexual abuse. That is
Yes.
sexual abuse.
Yes.
At the school, Paris alleges she experienced yelling, physical abuse, forced ingestion of unidentified pills, and even
no.
instances of being compelled to undress and endure solitary confinement for a full day.
Oh, my God.
Paris said that staff members were physically abusive, resorting to hitting and strangling students to instill fear and compliance. And here's some other details of further abuse. Former students reported being forcibly medicated and restrained, and medications were administered to students without their knowledge of like what they were taking, like the unidentified pills.
Oh, my God.
Paris stopped taking her prescribed pills by hiding them in a tissue, but someone reported her actions, leading to her placement in solitary confinement.
No. Ugh.
So she wasn't able to leave until she turned 18 years old.
And then at that time, can she elect to leave? Because she's now an adult?
I think so, yeah. So she left Provo, got her GED, and she chose not to discuss her experience with her family.
Wow.
But I know you can find all sorts of stuff online.
Well, she didn't discuss it with her family at that time, but since that documentary she did,
Well, yeah.
and you can see some of it on Paris in Love, like she is coming out more about it now, but
It's
what
awful.
the fuck?
So Provo today is currently under the ownership of a new company called Universal Health Services. They said that they were not in charge of the school during Paris Hilton's time there and therefore cannot provide detailed comments on the accusations. However,
Not our fault.
yeah, we weren't in charge. However, recent students have continued to raise complaints. So these recent students have reported instances of being placed in physical restraints, with as many as 10 staff members involved in restraining young students.
Jesus Christ.
They've expressed concerns about being over-medicated, which left them feeling like zombies. Isolation rooms have been used as forms of punishment, where students were confined for days after minor infractions, such as not getting out of bed on time.
Well, these
Or
kinds of
requesting an inhaler.
Yeah, like these schools or these boarding schools, behavioral whatever, it's so fucking ableist because like the behaviors I have to imagine, especially from like the list that you provided at the top of like the types of behavior issues that would land you in there, like ADHD and like autism spectrum disorder are very similar with a ton of overlap. Like all of these things that you listed come with like behavioral health issues that are really hard to control and to manage. And these kids like don't, it's not their fucking fault.
And to label any one of those things as an infraction, and it's just black
to just
and
punish
white, to
them.
be like, oh, you're in solitary confinement. You're in
You
isolation.
needed your inhaler.
It's
It's so fucked up.
there's no way to win, so to speak. Like you can't, like if you there's no way to beat it.
No, it's just compounding more trauma on top of like
It's abuse.
fucking yeah. Your behavioral health issues and like neurodivergence come with their own fucking trauma, like naturally. So can we not?
Yeah. So
just crochet. Just crochet the pain away.
in May of 2023, a nurse at Provo had to call 911 because things had gotten really out of control. This was the second time the police had been called to the school that day.
Whoa.
The nurse was at the Springfield campus, not the main campus in Provo, and she urgently requested help because girls were trying to break out. During the call, she mentioned that 8 girls were already in restraints and she feared more would need to be restrained soon. She also mentioned that some girls were trying to break windows with chairs.
Let them go!
A staff member had been injured and the nurse was the only one not actively involved in dealing with the chaos. So she had to be the one to call the police.
That's wild.
So when the cops arrived, they took 8 girls into custody. A police report indicated that the girls had been fighting with both the staff and each other.
Yeah, I mean, it's chaos. It's pandemonium.
Chaos. They were later booked into a juvenile detention center on suspicion of felony charges, and more than a dozen emergency response units were sent to the scene.
So now we're going to criminalize these abused children and throw them in juvie.
Well, I mean, it's bad all around because one staff member, Dennis Torrens, was hit during the chaos and seriously injured. He went in for surgery and died a few days later.
Okay, well, that sucks, but also, like,
I mean,
hazard of the trade, man.
Though it's a systemic issue. It's not just the staff. It's not just the, I don't know if you can call them students.
No.
It's the entire thing is fucking sick. Everyone is in danger.
Yes.
So the CEO of Provo Canyon School referred to this episode as a, quote, disturbance, and claimed that it was quickly and safely resolved without any injuries to patients or staff. He also mentioned that the facility was fully operational afterwards. Like, don't worry. We're back. We're back.
Mm-hmm.
However, there were discrepancies between his statement and the details in the 911 call, obviously.
Yeah, because somebody died.
Mm-hmm. There have been multiple police responses to the school in the months leading up to the incident, including a reported assault on a staffer in March. And this particular incident is currently under investigation.
Wow.
But as far as I know, the school is still open and operating.
Unfucking real.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
so
that was a lot.
Not a lot to do with reality TV, but I will say
baby.
that The Simple Life.
Great show.
Perfection.
It all circles back.
It all circles back. And Paris, I'm glad you're out. Seems from your newest reality show that you're doing great.
Congrats on your baby.
And because I know you're listening.
Oh, yeah.
Keep
huge
up the
fan.
good work,
I know.
girl.
She's a huge fan. Well done.
Thanks.
Okay, welcome back. If you, like us, are plugged into the Bravosphere, the Bravoverse.
I'm permanently plugged. Perma-plugged.
Always perma-plugged, always plugged. You've probably heard the name Randall Emmett.
No!
Likely followed by a gag of disgust. And if you have no idea who this D-bag is, like, first of all, congratulations. And second of all, congratulations no more, because I'm going to tell you and now you have to know. Because if I have to know and Lucy has to know, you fucking have to know too.
I don't know that much about him other than what I've heard on Vanderpump.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is enough.
Speaking of The Simple Life, it was better times when we didn't know who the fuck this was. Yeah. So Randall's connection to Hollywood is as a producer. He's produced a number of flops that you likely have never heard of, including such titles as 90 Minutes in Heaven, Exposed,
oh no,
Speed Kills,
okay,
Boss Level, The War with Grandpa.
Yes.
Yes, that classic. And then the only one you might know, which was The Irishman. He was a producer on The Irishman.
Okay.
I saw in one article that his forte was geezer teasers, quote unquote, starring folks like Bruce Willis and Al Pacino. And I didn't know this was a name for that genre. And it's so good. Like The Bucket List, it's a geezer teaser.
Anything with, what's his name?
The guy who was God and Bruce Almighty.
The guy who like talked to an empty chair.
We're nailing it right now. Yeah.
My brain is so vacant.
I mean, mine too, and I don't have any excuse.
Gran Torino.
Oh,
Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood,
Yeah,
yes.
that
And
guy.
I was thinking of Morgan Freeman.
We got there.
We fucking got there. Geezer teasers. So we had all blissfully never heard of this like wealthy but D-list producer until he was forced onto us via our reality show airspace in Vanderpump Rules.
God.
Because cast member Lala Kent started quietly dating him in 2016 during season 5 of Vanderpump Rules. After her whirlwind debut, so she comes on the show in season 4. And Lala, when she comes on the show, is single. She's kind of sniffing around both Jax Taylor and James Kennedy, two cast members who, despite a loyal fandom, are both known to be like problematic, abusive trash. But it came as a surprise that she was in a committed relationship in season 5 because she had come on the scene and she had been labeled like the slut in season 4.
Well, she was making out with James every other day, and
then trying to sleep with Jax while Jax was dating other people. It was just a whole thing. It was hard to keep up with.
James was in my dream last night.
I believe that.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that. So, when we first got word that Lala was dating someone who didn't want to be on camera in season 5, the romance was rife with rumors. She didn't do a great job of quelling those rumors with her on-air comments about how the first time she slept with this mystery man, he rewarded her with a brand new Range Rover.
She was dropping those little candies.
And I have that candy as a quote right here. Quote, "The first night we banged, I got a car the next day. He was like, 'Do you want a Range Rover?' And I was like, 'Yeah.'"
Sure.
Go off, queen. So these rumors and ongoing discourse between Lala Kent and James Kennedy about a lack of respect for each other's romantic partners ultimately led to one of the most epic and iconic reality TV show moments of all time, the infamous "It's not about the pasta" monologue.
Oh, yeah. It's not
Yep,
about the pasta.
It's not about the pasta. So Bustle breaks this moment down, and I will read it for you.
Yes.
Quote, "On the Monday, January 22nd episode of Pump Rules, segment producer Sally Bricker, James and Lala got into a heated spat about their respective significant others, their friendship, and pasta."
What kind of pasta was it? Do we know?
I think it was like penne, which I would go to bat for penne.
It depends on the sauce.
It is about the pasta. It does depend on
Is it
the sauce.
tomato-based,
A red sauce.
cream-based?
I like a red sauce. I like a tomato-based sauce with my penne, like a baked ziti kind of situation.
I like a cream. Anyway,
I know you do.
it doesn't matter.
It's one of the only places where we differ.
Yeah.
It's not about the pasta. according to pop lore, James's girlfriend Raquel Rachel Levis ordered pasta during one of James's DJ sets at SIR, which stands for Sexy Unique Restaurant, if people don't know what SIR stands for. And then Lala and James's friend Logan ate all of Raquel's pasta. Lala and Logan told James, and this upset Raquel. James got upset with Lala and Logan, and Lala got upset with James. And then James uttered a heart-stopper of a soliloquy. "Why is it about the damn pasta?" James bellowed. "Get over the damn pasta! Read between the fucking lines! It ain't about the pasta! It's not about the pasta! It's not about the pasta!"
It's one of the best scenes. They're like out on the sidewalk screaming.
They're screaming. This passionate monologue about a plate of noodles prompted some viewers to do their own reading between the lines. What if it isn't about the pasta? But like, it is about pasta.
It's always about the pasta.
So there was a conspiracy theory that where some believe that the pasta was code for cocaine and that they had snorted a line of Raquel's cocaine and that pissed Raquel off.
Well, it's just cocaine.
But they
You're
were
in Hollywood.
I know, but they're
find some
on
more
TV.
cocaine.
So they were, I know. So they were just like calling it pasta.
Yeah. Don't
know,
tell
so
me that there's a shortage of cocaine at Sir.
Yeah. Some people also said that it could have been code for the lingering sexual tension and connection between Lala and James, despite the fact that they were both with other people, that they were fighting about a relationship, and they were just referring to it as the pasta.
I mean,
James,
it's probably all
holds,
that.
It could. I think it's all of the above, and also that someone ate her pasta and it just set everybody off.
Yeah, the pasta
James
was a projection of all that.
Correct. James holds firm that he was simply pissed off that Lala ate his girlfriend's food.
I'd be pissed.
Tweeting on January 23rd, 2018, quote, "When I say it's not about the pasta, it was about actually pasta. And the fact that Lala stuffed her face with all my girl's food without remorse is the reason I got pissed in the first place, okay?"
Yeah, I've gotten so pissed about other people eating my leftovers or just my food in general.
I do not fuck with you when it comes to food.
No.
For a multitude of reasons. One,
It's
you
fucking rude.
It's rude. Two, you're generous. If you are eating a pile of food, you have already plated me my own pile of food. So why would I then go after your pile of food? The only time I'm not eating a pile of food with you is if we have taken those respective piles to our quiet places so that you can eat without being watched.
Yes, which is my love language. Let me eat without being watched.
Bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.
We know you're going to eat 3 bites and then take the rest to go so you can eat it in your hotel room while you're watching Forensic Files.
Yes, babe.
Duh.
This is me in a nutshell.
I get it. I fucking get it. And I'm not going to push it.
I don't fuck with my leftovers are a sacred thing for me.
Yeah, You do not, unless it's being heated up for you as a gesture, they're not yours.
You know what else I could see Raquel being pissed about, and I would totally sympathize with this? She orders a bunch of pasta. She has 4 bites. She's taking the rest to go, but she's not actively eating it. Mm-hmm. Lala and what's-his-fuck come over.
Logan.
Eat the rest of it.
She's not even eating it. We're just going to eat it.
Those are my leftovers. Those are still mine. Those are tomorrow's mine.
Well, for you, it's like, no, that's your dinner. You eat in stages. So you're going to eat your first few bites at the table to be polite with everybody else, but you're not going to finish that whole plate. No.
I'm eating it in bed like a normal person.
Yeah, so maybe Raquel wanted to eat it in bed and you just ate her entire fucking dinner. I'd be livid.
I don't want to have a lot in common with Raquel, but between that and the galaxy light...
Yeah.
I think, like, behaviorally, well, no, I mean, not behaviorally, like, habitually, we have a lot in common.
Listen, you may not have a diagnosis, but I'm telling you right now, you are neuro-fucking-divergent.
Who isn't?
And so is Raquel.
It's
and
fine.
so am I.
It's fine.
So we all
Take
have
a number,
a little
sweetheart.
Take a number. You're not special, Raquel. But we do side with you on this one thing.
Yeah.
And I side with you on the galaxy light. So moving on. So the chatter on the scene was that this mystery man, was married to Amber with a Y, Childers. Ambitious Amber, who I only recognize from her role as Candace on, I think it's season 1 of You on Netflix.
Oh my God, I'm Googling her right now. MB.
Yeah, Amber, Ambyr, Amber Childers. You'll recognize her when you see her.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So she was with Randall, who we don't know is Randall yet.
Okay.
So when they first started dating, like, everyone was talking on this season that, like, oh, Lala knows that he's married. She doesn't care. She's banging him for his money. Those are the rumors that are going around.
Okay.
Lala staunchly denies this to this day. Quote, "That will go down as one of the toughest times in my entire life. I was just so madly in love with this person, and it was so different from anyone I had ever dated before. And so my feelings got hurt when people spoke about the money aspect, because that's never really been my type of personality to go for such shallow things." And she also said that, like, after the fact, that they were separated when they started dating. And so it wasn't like she was being labeled as, like, the other woman, but that, like, in reality, they weren't even really together. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't care. Like, other people's marriages and, like, who's cheating on who and who's the other woman, like, none of that fucking matters to me. I don't give a shit. Mm-hmm. Everyone's adults. People make bad choices. People make good choices. People make choices. And they are responsible for them, period, full stop. I don't care about these rumors around, these specific rumors around Lala and Randall, like, are meaningless to me.
Mm-hmm.
So she's talking about this in a Cosmopolitan interview in 2018. She goes on to say, quote, "He's my best friend. He takes care of my heart and my soul. That's important when you're in a relationship. You have to marry your best friend. What's better than being able to have sex with your best friend?"
Well,
Borf. Randall and Amber separated in 2015, and he started dating Lala shortly after, and the two finalized their divorce in 2017. Whether there was overlap, we will never really know, but folks can assume. And Lala and Randall then got engaged in 2018, and Randall agreed around that time to go on the show.
I mean, divorces and any legal shit takes
A
so
long ass
fucking
time.
long.
Takes a long time.
Especially when you have that much money involved.
Mm-hmm. So I get it.
Yeah.
You gotta, if in that interim you gotta do other shit or start moving on to greener pastures, fucking
Yeah.
do what you gotta do.
Did Randall and Amber have kids together?
No. No. But he does have kids from another marriage, but I don't think they're Amber's kids.
Okay.
When Randall finally decided to participate in the reality show in 2019, his debut was a bit of a surprise. Not only because he'd been so adamant about not being involved in VPR, probably because of the discourse around his relationship with Lala and his ongoing divorce proceedings, but because, to put it plainly, Randall is a New Jersey 5 and Lala is an LA 9. Okay?
Lala is fucking smoke show.
She's gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
She's unbelievably gorgeous. She's super hot, and he's just kind of like a dumpy fucking Big Ed dad-looking motherfucker.
He does look like Big Ed. His
looks
eyes
like
are
Big Ed.
very close together.
Speaking of, and the neck.
The neck.
Donde está tu neck? Randall. Because I don't fucking see it.
Big Ed looks like a Randall if he just got squashed down just a little bit.
Big Ed and Randall both look like the third level of an Animorph on the cover.
Yes.
Where, like, you're squishing down into the animal, but, like, you're still very humanoid. It's always the third frame that looks the worst.
Yes. It's my favorite
So,
frame.
like, yeah, you're out here looking like a third frame Animorph, and Lala is a fucking stunner.
Mm-hmm.
So it just didn't make a lot of sense. And the VPR cast, especially James, were not quiet about this. James always called him the fat man. All of this made Randall a pretty big storyline through season 8, but he seemed to win over most viewers with his relaxed demeanor, love of pickleball, and dutiful fiance facade.
Yeah, it's like we're not out here to body shame Randall.
Mm-hmm. No. You can
But
be gross and we don't have to body shame
We're
you. But
shaming
where is your
you
neck?
because of your behavior.
Correct. You're a piece of shit. I'm going to talk shit about your neck.
Yeah.
Between filming of seasons 8 and 9, the two, Lala and Randall, had a baby together.
Ocean.
Because they also took Ocean. They also took kind of a break because of the panini and all of the pandemic and all this shit. So their baby Ocean was featured prominently in season 9. They held true to the strength of their relationship and their intent to wed in 2020, but bubbling under the surface was a feud that none of us saw coming.
I was very excited for their wedding.
I know, we never got to see it.
I know. That's okay.
Oh well, but we did get to see this. On a quiet April weekend in 2019, famed rapper 50 Cent decided he had had enough of Randall's bullshit.
What?
He claims Randall owed him over $1 million in debts accrued during their creative projects together. From People magazine, quote, Randall Emmett produced several of 50 Cent's film and TV projects, including the Starz crime drama Power, which 50 Cent also co-starred and executive produced. In a series of text messages sent from Fitty to Emmett, Fitty expressed the following, which was then made public via posted screenshots. Quote, "Keep playing with me and get your fucking head cracked in front of everybody.
Oh.
You took my kindness for weakness. Now I'm going to show you what I've been trying to do to you, you dumb motherfucker."
What I've been trying not to do to you.
Oh, sorry. What I've been trying not to do to you, you dumb motherfucker. So 50 Cent's like, give me my money or I'm going to publicly destroy you. You don't want to fucking fuck with me.
Oh.
According to People magazine's timeline, this sparked a series of rapid succession back and forth social media content dripping in shade.
Oh my God.
April 26th, 2019. 50 Cent shares a Vanderpump Rules clip and mocks Lala Kent and Randall Emmett's relationship, reposting the clip containing Lala's quote about the Range Rover and basically calling her a whore who sucks dicks for cars, which, like...
You know what? Stay off Lala.
This is not behavior that is becoming of any man. And Lala essentially said on the show, we had sex and he asked me if I wanted a Range Rover and I said, yeah.
Get
so,
you. That's fine.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah, exactly. We don't have to
Get
come
the
for
car.
her. Get the car. This is bad. It's a bad look on both sides.
Yeah.
Is all I'm gonna say. The post has since been deleted. Lala responded the same day with a comment on the post reading, quote, I'm disgusted. We've sat up at dinner solo with you. You showing mad love while begging Rand to put one of your talentless bitches in a film. And this is how you come for me on the gram?
Oh, also, I would never cross Lala.
No, but I would also never cross 50 Cent.
No.
I wouldn't cross any of these people.
No.
This comment is also gone with the deleted post. Their discourse escalates and Randall tries to calm the storm with a post of his own, wherein he apologizes to Fitty, but misspells his name, posting, quote, I'm sorry, Fofty. I'm heading to the emergency room.
Oh.
I'm not doing well. Please don't text me anymore. I'm sorry for everything. This is too much for me. I'm so hurt and not feeling well.
I'm in a dark, dark place.
I'm in a dark, dark place. Fitty responds the next day with, fuck you, Randall, and demands to be paid what he's owed by Monday. Including, quote, you're not gonna die before Monday. Go ahead, knock yourself out, LOL, end quote.
Oh my God.
50 Cent then launches a line of I'm sorry, Fofty t-shirts on April 28th. In an absolutely genius marketing move.
Is that why Lala launched the take it to Greg or whatever?
Daryl.
Send it to Daryl.
Send it to Daryl. I'm sure she took a page out of Fofty's book.
Yes.
The discourse seemed to come to
Fofty.
Fofty. I want one of those shirts so bad.
Googling it.
So please pull it up. I want one.
I'm sorry, Fofty.
The discourse seemed to come to an end when Fitty confirmed on April 29th that Randall had indeed paid him by Monday. Lala and Fitty would have some continued back and forth social media discourse, but it all fizzled out by mid-2020. Did you find it?
Yes.
Are they still for sale?
They're $33.
Worth every penny. Are you kidding me? Best $33 I'll ever spend. Fucking where do I sign?
Here, I'm texting it to you.
Send me a link. Yes, thank you. But Randall was not out of hot water. Overshadowed by the now infamous Scandival, it was revealed before the release of VPR Season 10 that Randall had been caught up in a cheating and sexual coercion scandal. Ahead of this going public, he and Lala Kent split in 2021 with joint custody of their child, Ocean. Multiple people came forward in June of 2022 accusing Randall of sexual assault. He was also accused in the same LA Times article of continuing to push actor Bruce Willis, who was working on a film Randall was producing at the time called Midnight in the Switchgrass, around the time of his diagnosis with aphasia. Despite the actor clearly struggling to continue, Randall allegedly pushed him to continue anyway, having already financed the project.
You don't force Bruce Willis.
Don't fuck with Bruce Willis ever.
No.
That man is a treasure. Let him have aphasia in fucking peace.
Right.
That little tidbit, like, just
what a dick.
It all gives me the ick, but like, that's like the cherry on top of the fucking ick.
Also, like, all the sexual harassment.
That's what I mean. Like, that's already giving me all of the ick, and then to find out that you're a piece of shit just across the board, and you're a money grubbing piece of shit. You already financed this project, and this man is literally falling apart in front of the world. And it's harming him, it's harming his family, and he's gonna fucking push him to finish this project so he can squeeze the last dime out of fucking Bruce Willis before he has to go off and deal with all of these lawsuits against him for sexual assault and coercion.
Yeah, it's
so you're gonna use Bruce Willis to get your last penny?
Really gross.
You fucking loser. I can't. So back to the sexual misconduct.
Yes. Back to that little old thing.
That old chestnut. Quote, according to the Times, several women have accused Emmett of inappropriate behavior that took place online or in person. One aspiring actress alleged that he said she would have to perform sexual favors in order to get acting work with him. Over a period of 3 years, the producer allegedly received massages and oral sex from her, digitally penetrated her, and masturbated while she stood nude in his office. Because he was telling her, like, this is how I'm going to put you in a picture, girl, sweetheart. Emmett reportedly later signed a settlement agreement to pay her about $200,000, though he has denied doing so that she wouldn't say anything about it. In the aftermath of these allegations becoming public, Lala herself came forward with allegations against her former fiancé, who she had suspected of cheating on her for some time. According to her statements, she tried to grab his phone to look through it and confirm her suspicions, and he violently knocked her to the ground. He also has a history of mistreating those who work for him. Quote, the Times also spoke with 10 of his former assistants who accuse him of a range of allegations, including asking them to transport drugs, deliver payments to women that he had assaulted that he was paying off.
Who the fuck do you think you are?
Right? Yeah. And to put thousands of dollars in charges on their own personal credit cards that he would promise to reimburse them for and then never did.
Do it for the miles.
Right? Jesus. Just use the fucking company card.
God.
Randall was different from being just a mean boss, says former assistant Martin Gablé. He made people do dangerous things and illegal things. You had to be his punching bag and his mule.
Ish.
Yeah, this guy is
disgusting.
Not good.
Men with a little bit of money just think that they
a little bit of money and enough charm to just like hide in plain sight.
Yes, on a fucking reality show.
Yeah, we've talked about this before, but like in other contexts, but this is so the abuser's playbook. I mean, he really bursts on the scene of, at least on the show, so charming, so lovable, so teddy bear.
And
like,
she talked him up so much.
A lot. And like got in good with the cast. And, you know, fucking Tom Schwartz is a little wiener and still like such a fucking little piece of shit apologist. But he uses people like, say, a seemingly innocent, lovable goofball like Tom Schwartz to make other people feel like, oh no, like there's no way he could ever do something like that.
He's
like,
just
look at him.
He's so pickleball.
Yeah, he's just an old sweet dude who likes pickleball, and it's like, no, he was fucking like casting couching these women and basically coercing them into sex acts that they didn't want to be part of, promising them the moon, and then he couldn't fucking pay it. So on top of all of these accusations and pending lawsuits, more folks may be kicking themselves for not taking Fiddy's approach to having their debts paid. Because as of June 2022, Randall was facing 12 lawsuits totaling over $25 million in outstanding loans and disputed payments. So I wish they had the clout to be like, I'm sorry, Fofty t-shirts, and fucking pay me by Monday. You're not going to die. If I don't get your money, I'm going to beat the shit out of you, basically.
50 cents about to be $33 richer because I'm buying one of those shirts.
At least $66 richer because we're both buying these shirts. Quote, the Times obtained copies of lucrative contracts that offer the stars of Emmett's movies, including Bruce Willis, Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, and more, vacations and lavish accommodations, despite allegations behind the scenes that the company was struggling to pay crew and other staff. So they were like shorting their lackeys, their staff, their assistants, all of this so that they could fucking put up Al Pacino in a fancy hotel for their geezer teaser movies.
God.
And so they're getting sued left and right by all of the other people that like make these films possible that aren't getting paid.
Thank God he didn't marry Lala.
Oh, yeah, seriously.
I don't know why I'm still feeling defensive about Lala, but like I am. She's a victim too.
She's a victim too. And like, I know there's a lot of discourse over what she knew and what she didn't, but like there's a huge age discrepancy. He swept her off her feet. He's in a position of power over her, and he always fucking has been. And so we're viewing her through a lens of where she is now, and I just don't think that's very fair. When they got together, that power dynamic was very off kilter, and he was definitely the one in power over her at the time that he swept her off of her feet and like established to her the version of him that he was.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that like she suspected that he was cheating on her, but didn't realize that he was like harming women.
Yeah.
So, I mean, whatever. You can think what you want about her. I don't fucking care. But like, this guy's a fucking predator.
Mm-hmm.
And she easily could have been a victim of his, no, I'm the charming guy. I want to, you know, who better to hide behind than like a reality star who's kind of controversial that people don't necessarily trust, and then come out looking like the good guy that she's just been hiding on the side all along. And then you can discredit her to make it easier to like perpetuate your own narrative. Like,
I think
guys,
it would have been
the call's coming from inside the fucking house.
It would have been way worse for her if she hadn't been such a success on Vanderpump Rules.
Mm-hmm.
Like she regained a little bit more of that power, and also not to be such a mom, but like the fact that she has a baby now at this point too, like
her priorities are shifted. She's a great mom.
Fuck that guy. Yeah.
Yeah. She gives so many shits about her baby, and you know, she did the right thing leaving him and getting custody of her kid. So at the end of the day, I don't really care what the discourse is around either of that. He's a piece of shit. She's out of that relationship, and he's going to have to pay for what he's done.
Yeah.
So it's clear that Randall is a star fucker who wanted to keep his geezer teaser clients happy while undercutting and abusing his staff in the process. Geezer teaser. In 2021, the Writers Guild of America West did win an over $500,000 lawsuit against Randall over lack of proper payment for their work on his projects. So this is definitely a pattern. He does not pay his writers. He doesn't pay his crew. And then they have to sue him to get fucking paid what they're promised.
That's so skeezy.
If you ask him, however, he holds firm that all of these lawsuits and allegations are part of a massive smear campaign spearheaded by Lala Kent to get sole custody of their child. Okay,
well.
Sure. They're not. She disagrees, and in a throw of shade his way that I can only describe as fucking iconic, Lala Kent visited 50 Cent on the set of his new horror movie Skill House, snapping selfies of the two of them smiling and swapping smooches to post on social media in a clear statement of solidarity against Randall Emmett. I need her to pose in an I'm sorry Fofty t-shirt.
Do you have pictures of this?
I don't, but I'm sure they're very easy to find.
You do.
Or maybe I do. I put my
here.
photos up a really long time ago, so yeah, they're cute.
They make a cute couple, just saying.
They really do make a cute couple. So while lawsuits are still pending, Randall has been living in Miami, Florida since his split from Lala in October of 2021. He's been laying low, spending time with his two daughters, Ocean and London, a daughter from a previous marriage, and working on his film production company, Emmett Forla Oasis Films.
Rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, it's a great name. Here's hoping we'll have an update on the status of these lawsuits in the coming year, because, like, I know I'm setting my Randall Emmett Google alerts because I want to see him fucking go down.
Wasn't there, like, a Hulu?
Yes.
Okay.
The Randall Scandal
Hulu
documentary. It's pretty good.
Okay.
I think this is actually, like, a much more important scandal and conversation to be having than Scandival was.
Oh, I mean,
like Scandival still,
it was scandalous, but it wasn't important.
Well, it wasn't important, and it involved consenting adults.
Yeah,
and like what Randall did is so much worse. And then this Scandival shit blew up, and like I got wrapped up in it too, and it totally overshadowed.
That's an understatement.
Yeah, no, I had a manic episode. I had a full blown manic fucking episode about it.
PowerPoint.
A really good one.
Yes.
A really detailed one. I could have defended a thesis
in your mania.
Oh, for sure. It's like why we're best friends. But anyway, I'm glad that we got the opportunity, thanks to our amazing fan picker, Shauna, to do a Reality Star Crimes episode and like not talk about Scandival, because this is such a more important story. This guy is a fucking predator and he shouldn't be working anywhere, but he sure as shit shouldn't be working in Hollywood as a producer where he has access to all of these young, vulnerable women who want to make it.
Yep.
Like, cancel Randall Emmett. You're done.
Yeah.
Fucker. You're done.
You gotta be done. And there are
so many. Go tease your geese somewhere else.
There are so many people like him out there, and it's
sick.
fucking gross.
Anyway, that's my case.
Oh my God. Well, I'm appropriately enraged. And thank you to
Yup.
Shauna for your fan pick. And again, happy super belated birthday to Leah. Happy 31st birthday to Leah.
It's not she's not 31 yet.
She will be.
It's only been like 3 months. We're still in the frame.
Well, thank you for listening, and we will see you next week.
Bye-bye.